What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. For you, Market Marauders, the investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos. All right, so we're going over my top Webull trading options for the week. So this is going to be my watch list. These are the stocks that I basically got my eye out on, and some target prices that I'm looking at as well. First things first, if you'd like to join the Market Marauders, become an official Marauder, I do have a Patreon group, link down below, where I do give out a daily watch list and have weekly live streams. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check out that in the link down below. And if you'd like to sign up for Webull and get 4 free stocks when you deposit $100 or more, that'll be down in the link as well. All right, so a crazy week in general, a lot of stuff going on in politics as well as the EV space and Bitcoin. So a lot of movement in a lot of different sectors, but I'm going to try to do a wide kind of assessment to talk about some of the stocks that I'm looking at that I think have potential, and some of the stuff that I think, kind of is being overlooked as well. So first off, we're going to talk about NEO. They ended the week at $58.92. And then after hours went up to $59.06, so up 14 cents. Then we see on here they had a week high of $59.31, so $59.06 is very close to the $59.31 metric. So overall, bullish for the stock. Moving average 10 is above 15,100. VWAP is still below the moving average 10, but I think that's quickly going to change when the market opens. So background on NEO, they just gave out their 2020 fourth quarter results. So during the results, they said they had 707,000 vehicles in December 2020, which was an increase of 121%. They had their deliveries, which was 17,353 vehicles, which was 111% increase. They had deliveries of 43,728 vehicles in 2020 in total, which was an increase of 112.6%. And cumulative deliveries was 75,641%. Now, you may be saying, man, this is kind of old news. This came out January 3rd. What other metrics are you looking at? I actually was able to watch NEO Day today. So if you go to the community tab on the YouTube page, NEO basically had an unveiling of sorts where they talked about the different things that they're doing. So some of the highlights from that, which I'll probably make a video about later on, is battery as a service. So NEO, instead of Tesla having charging stations alone, NEO has charging stations as well as having battery as a service. So you can go to these terminals and you can have your battery swapped out, which is a very interesting technology, but I think very efficient because the lifetime of the battery, varies quite a bit. So when you buy a Tesla, you're basically stuck with that battery. Battery life has not really been a problem for Tesla, but I think it's still a very good alternative to have that option for a NEO vehicle. And then also reading on here, they announced that they have a solid state battery that has the potential for 150 kilowatt hours. So I think that is, one of the leading things that I took away from that NEO Day. That is a very revolutionary thing, and it's a solid state battery. So if you're familiar, there's been a company that has recently kind of came out, which is called QuantumScape. They have announced that they were going to be making a solid state battery that was projected, I think, to like 2024. The stock just went crazy. A lot of people trade that or day trade QuantumScape because they had that announcement. But NEO basically was saying they have a solid state battery that's going to be swappable like the current batteries they have that has 150 kilowatt hours, which to me I think is fantastic overall. So I think the company's headed in the right direction and definitely going to be looking for this one to shoot up on Monday, especially after all the press releases or all after the NEO Day for today. So definitely keep my eyes out on this one. Going to the option side for this one, I think $80 is not an outrageous strike price for this one. So going with the February time frame between $60 to $80, I think is a good metric. At the time of the video, you're going to be looking to pay between $775 to $305 per contract. Now, this one is definitely a spec play. I don't think the stock's going to go down. It's very interesting, the amount of technology that this company has amassed and that they are doing. I think it is very good. And they have government backing. So the company is backed by the Chinese government. So they have funding for days, basically. But I think technology-wise, they're doing a lot of smart things with the battery swap technology or battery as a service, as well as having this solid-state battery announcement. And they also announced another model, which is called the Neo ET7, which I think looks very nice as well. So definitely Neo next week is going to be a red hot stock. A lot of people are going to be talking about it. And if you saw it on this video, you're basically going to hear it before, people like Jim Cramer, all those other analysts, jump into it, because I think it was definitely overshadowed by all the news from Tesla. Now, speaking of Tesla, that is the next one that is on the list. So the American EV, but I guess we can't say American EV company because they do have a factory in China and Berlin and are just expanding on leaps and bounds. Now, Tesla had a fantastic week last week. They shot up like crazy. They did touch $884.49, and they ended the week at $880.02. But then after hours went down $12.51 to end at $867.51. So if you're looking at that, don't be alarmed at that negative $12.51. This thing fluctuates that much just in pre-market. So, that's not really that far of a metric for it to fall down. Now, if it fell down like $100+ in one day or after hours, then I would, have a little bit of alarm going on. But it didn't even fall down $100. So, I think they definitely can recoup that when the market opens on Monday. Also, there were a lot of things going on with Tesla. Their CEO just recently became the richest person in the world, surpassing Jeff Bezos. So Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world. So I think that's pretty cool, as well as, them doing a couple of releases. So I'm going to talk about some of the older news. So this came out the second. Just going to review their quarter 4 production numbers. So I think Elon Musk had a goal of, I think it was like $550,000 vehicles produced, but I think it went under that. So in 2020, their Model S and Model X production and delivery, so they produced 54,805 Model X's and Model X's, and then for Model 3s and Model Ys, they produced 453,932 for a total of 509,773. Total deliveries 57,039, and then Model S and Model 3 and Model Y was 442,511. So I definitely think that they were right on schedule with that. It was very close delivery wise. I think his delivery estimates was 500,000 for deliveries, and it was just shy of that. So, overall, I think the company's doing fantastic. I'm saving up to get an X and S, so I would like to get an S and X someday. Hopefully, I can start, monetizing the channel or find some other avenue, but I'm just saving up money basically to get an S and X. I'd like to have one. So I think the company overall is doing fantastic. And one of the things that they came out and talked about that I think is going to be a catalyst for next week as well is they announced a $25,000 electric car. Now, this to me is very huge news because the barrier for entry, as we know, Teslas are not cheap. So, starting out, I think the cheapest one you may be able to get is probably going to be about $40,000 to $50,000 in the U.S. at least. But Elon Musk hinted that they'll be making a $25,000 electric car that's also fully autonomous. So I think this is definitely a game changer. Tesla being one of the companies that has the best as far as autonomous driving is concerned capabilities. They have the new batteries that are going to be coming out soon that they released at Battery Day earlier in 2020. So overall, I think the company is headed in a the right direction. Having a $25,000 electric car is definitely going to be an industry leading thing. So people may say, why is this evaluation so crazy? Why is the stock continuing to go up, to these highs? It's because people hear news like this. So, if you're new to trading, people buy the rumor and sell the news. Well, these are rumors of a $25,000 car, which is definitely going to shoot the stock price up even more. And the more updates they give, the better off the company is going to look in the long run. So definitely very bullish, in my opinion, on this stock. People who've been bearish on this one have been burned too many times to not be bullish on this one. So definitely going to be looking at this one for next week. Going into the option side in Webull, I'm going to type in Tesla, and then going to go and try to find a date. Going to probably go with the March date. And looking at here, we can see it goes up to 950. Let's see if we can find one that goes up a little higher. Might have to get closer to the date. Yeah, not really seeing one that goes up higher than that. So we're going to stick with the March time frame. And it says $885 to $905. I think it'll go way past the $905 metric. So I think either one of these is going to be a safe bet for you all. But bear in mind, this is not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes. So if you'd like to contact a certified CPA, make sure you do so in your local area. This is just for educational purposes. So I think between $885 to $905 is a good metric, but the barrier for entry is pretty pricey on this one. You're looking to pay between $12,000 to $11,000 per contract, which is very pricey for some people. So I would say go through here and look to see if there's a deal that can be had to find one. And there aren't really many that are being sold as well, so only 7 seems to be the max on these. And then for the 900 strike price, there's only 1 being sold. So bear in mind also, this is when the market is closed. So when the market is open, these may differ. There may be multiple strike prices, or maybe I'm just doing the wrong one. All right, so let's go to all. So if we click on all strike prices, let's see if we can find one. Yep, there we go. So for all strike prices, just expound on here, we can see it goes all the way to 1,500. So 1,500 is way out of the money. But if you look at how fast this stock moves, I would say it's not unrealistic. So most of the times I'll say, a certain metric, but I'll say all the way from this 885 level all the way down to this 1,500 level, I think is a good option. Now you're looking to pay between $1,845 per contract on that one, so just bear that in mind. Looking at this level, I would not say that it's out of character to say that it can get to 1,500. Basically based on the way the stock moves. Now this is for March, so definitely in that time frame it could hit that. So I try to get my options at least a month out. You may even be able to go with the February one. So let's look at the February time frame on this one. So February 5th, we're going to look at the exact same interval. Once this loads, I'm going to go all the way down to this 1,500 level, and it seems like 1,300 is the highest one on here. But you can see as you decrease the overall expiration or strike price, overall expiration date, that when you get to the strike price, the actual price you pay goes down. So just go and try to find one that you can afford. Everyone's risk management is different. So $900 may be expensive to some people. $8,000 may not be expensive to some people. It just all depends on you and your account. So I'd say, make sure that you're just doing your due diligence. Make sure it's not the last video that you look at before you jump in. Always make sure you do your due diligence before investing, because it is very risky. And make sure you just study. That's all I can say on that one. Next, we'll talk about Riot Blockchain. Now, Riot Blockchain has reached $26.59, which is where they ended the week. Their week high was $27.39, but if we see after hours, they went up $2.17 to end at $28.76. So they had an 8.16% increase after hours. I think this is a fantastic metric. I'm definitely going to be looking at them for a potential early morning mover. If we see on here that they did surpass this week high of $27.39 by ending at $28.76. So I think it's overall a good metric for the company. I'm going to be interested to see how fast they move on Monday, especially considering that they went above this price. But let's go into some background on them. Riot Blockchain purchases additional 15,000 ant miners for Bitmain, expanding 2021 total hash rate capacity to over 3.8 EH per S. So we see on here they're basically doing some mining of crypto. I think they're mining Bitcoin, if I'm not. So they're doing Bitcoin mining. So if we go to Bitcoin, price of Bitcoin is increased significantly. So it's gone to 40,000, or that at the time of the video, it's at $40,987. So it's on a steady increase, and I think Bitcoin will continue to go up because there's only a limited supply of Bitcoin. So there will only ever in existence be 21 million Bitcoin. So I think, as time goes on, more people put money into Bitcoin, it will continue to go up. There are more people mining Bitcoin, which I think will also help to increase that price as well. And this is one of the companies that are involved with mining. So going into the option side, I think this stock's going to continue to go up as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So I'm going to type in Riot into the option side, and we're going to have that load. And then we're going to go to quarter two level, which is the 19th of March. So get into quarter two. I'm going to scroll down here, and it seems like 30 or 35 is the only option on here, but I think both of those levels can be hit. So if we see on here, you're looking to pay between $735 per option or per contract to $670 per contract. So overall, I think that this company will definitely continue to grow as Bitcoin grows, and they'll definitely be able to take advantage of all that Bitcoin mining. Next, we have ticker sign MARA for Marathon Patent. They're at $26.39 is where they ended the week. Their week high was $28.37, and they ended after hours. They went up to $28.68, so on the same trajectory as Riot. So they went up $2.29 after hours to beat their week high. So I expect that to continue to grow as time goes on as well. Now this company is in the mining business as well, as far as mining for Bitcoin. So I expect them to go up with Bitcoin as well. So Marathon Patent Group and DMG Blockchain Solutions to form the Digital Currency Miners of North America, or DCMNA, and launch North America's first cooperative mining pool. So definitely people are getting together to do a lot of mining of Bitcoin, which will definitely help with the stock price price of Bitcoin continuing to go up. With that being said, I think I'm giving it the same evaluation as Riot. So I think if we find a quarter two level the same as the Riot blockchain, going to go around the March time frame as well. I think getting to this $35 metric is not unreasonable by a March time frame. Now, you're going to be looking to pay between $950 per option to $780 per option. And then lastly, we want to talk about Boeing. Okay, so Boeing on here, they are bearish. They're about moving average 10 line, being below 50 and 100. VWAP is still above moving average 10, but overall still bearish. They fell from this 216.60 level. They ended the week at 209.90. Then after hours went down 34 more cents to end at 209.56. Now, I am bearish on Boeing, and this is the reason why. So on the 7th, Boeing basically announced that says department. So I'm going to read the whole or read majority of the article. So Boeing announced that it's entered into an agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice, which resolves the department's investigation into the company relating the evaluation of the Boeing 737 MAX plane by Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA. As part of Boeing's resolution with DOJ, the department has agreed to defer prosecution of the company, providing that Boeing abides by obligations set forth in 3-year deferment prosecution agreement, so after which time the charges will be dismissed. So under the agreement, Boeing will pay a penalty of $243.6 million and provide $500 million in additional compensation to the families of those lost in the Lion Air and Ethiopian airline accidents. The agreement also includes a commitment to provide $1.77 billion to Boeing's airline customers as part of the company's ongoing efforts to compensate those customers for financial losses resulting from the grounding of 737 MAX. So they're basically paying, all these people who were affected by the defective 737 MAX, which was an ongoing issue. It was a long, time. Even like before the pandemic, this issue was going on. So they're basically, settling this stuff with the DOJ. The DOJ stopping their investigation. Now, I'm saying this stock is going to be bearish based off this, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think Boeing is going to go bankrupt from this. Having a company that, like Boeing, that makes as much money as they make, having them pay, what is this, 74, $743.6 million at total right there, plus 1.77 billion. Is not that much money for the company. Now it will hurt them a little bit as far as having that money come from them, especially with not having that big of a customer base during the pandemic. So I'm not going to say they're not going to be economically impacted by this, but overall, I think Boeing is a solid company moving forward. I think they have a lot of technology. I think their planes are fantastic. They've been around forever. They have tons of government contracts. So I think the company's here to stay. So you may be saying, why do you have a put on the company, or why are you suggesting a put on the company? Because I think as investors, when bad news comes, the market definitely reflects to that. So I don't think people are going to be buying more and more shares of Boeing because of this bad news of money that they're going to have to pay. I think the market's going to be, have a dramatic impact. I think people are going to sell off. And then, after they sell off, people see, okay, Boeing's on sale, essentially, and they're going to buy more and more shares. So I think people are just going to, at least profit take for the current moment and sell off what they currently have and let this thing kind of blow over. And then I think people are going to jump back into the stock once some more positive news comes out about the 737 MAX, which they've already started having some positive news come out about their first flight taking off for the 737 MAX. So in the long term, I think Boeing is a fantastic play, but I think in the short term, which is what we're talking about for options, I think they're going to fall off. Now, what level will they fall to? I don't really know. I'm not a stock guru, nor am I a fortune teller, so I do not know what level they will hit when they finally level off, but I do know they will fall a little bit after taking this financial hit. So I think a put is the best option in my opinion. Now, I think To keep it on the safe side, I would put like a 170, strike price for a put. Now that's very speculative because 170, is not too far. But I'm not saying that 170 is going to be my floor. So I'm not saying 170 is definitely the level that they will get to. But I'm saying 170 to me is realistic because it's not too far from this 205 metric where this strike price is at. I think March is enough time for this to be able to execute because I think by March we'll be in quarter two, and quarter two is definitely going to be a ray of sunshine for the company. That all this stuff will have been blown over, and they don't have the DOJ breathing down their back for this 737 MAX situation. So I think in the short term, between 205 to 170 strike price is a realistic metric. Now you can go and jump all the way down here and get something super out of the money for like 105. $20 for a 105 one. I mean, once it falls, you don't have to have it get to that level. So I think people think to trade options, if you have a strike price at 105, it has to get to 105 in order for you to make profits. That's not the way it works. It works off volatility. So if the market opens and Boeing drops all the way down to like let's say they drop to 180 when the market opens, then this option is going to be worth more than $20. So just bear that in mind. Whatever your risk management level is or your risk tolerance is, make sure you're staying with that. So if you can only afford a $20 option, then get a $20 option. If you can't afford a $20 option, then this probably is not the stock for you. There are other stocks out there. If you have a little more float, which means you have a little more risk you can take, I would say the 170 metric is a more realistic measure where you'll pay $316 per contract, or even if you go all the way up here to 205, you're paying $1,435 per contract. Now, bear in mind this is a put, so on Robinhood, on Webull, it's the right-hand side right here. So on Webull, it's the right-hand side for bid, and that is for buying a put. The left-hand side is for calls, which is normally what I'm talking about. But as for this one, I'm saying a put, which we see are already green and have increased based off of that news. All right, so that's the last one for the week. Good luck to everybody out there trading. Make sure you also go check out the Patreon as well. Link down below in the description. If you'd like to sign up for Webull, get 4 free stocks. That link is down below as well. And good luck to everybody out there trading. Hope these videos are helping you all. Hope you all are learning stuff from the video. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what stocks you guys are looking at. I know it definitely helps everyone in the chat. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.